Next up, we're going to look at the pulse function. This is going to give us a way to say we're equal to 0, then we're equal to 1 for a little while, and then we're back equal to 0. And this will be helpful for us when we're writing down piecewise functions because each piece we can think of as coming from one of these pulses. Okay. So first off, let's sketch this pulse function. So we're going to be equal to 0 to begin. And then at time A, we're going to jump up to being equal to 1. And then we'll stay at 1 from time A to time B. And then we're going to go back down to being equal to 0. Alrighty. Great. I'm not going to worry about matching up these values exactly at the transition points. Okay, we can also write this using step functions. The way to think about it is that we want to start off being 0. At time 1, we want to go to a value of 1, so we're going to use UA of t to do that. So that's 0 until time A where it's 1. Okay. All right. We want to be equal to 1, so I'm going to draw this out so far. Okay, so this is where we're at right now. At time B, though, we want to step back down. We want to go from being equal to 1 to being equal to 0. Okay, and so what we can think of doing is multiplying the function -1 by UB of t. So we're going to turn on a -1 function to move us back down. Okay, and so now our new function is going to look like this. Okay, so we were 0. Both functions are 0 when t is less than a. When t is between a and b, then the first function is equal to 1. The second function is equal to 0. When t is bigger than b, then both functions are equal to 1. And so we have 1 minus 1, and that gives us 0. Okay, let's try this out with a couple of other examples. Okay, so here we have the function that's 3 between 0 and 2, -2 between 2 and 5, and 1 when t is bigger than 5. Alrighty, so let's see. So we're starting off here with a value of 3. Okay. And we can think about sort of how we want to change this value. So we're starting off with a value of 3, and then at time 2, we want to make a change. Our change in value is going to be here our final value, our final function, minus our initial function. Basically, we don't want to see the 3 anymore. Now we want to see a -2. Okay. So I'm going to write the new function we want to see minus the old function we don't want to see anymore. And I'm going to multiply this by u2 of t. Okay. So let's take a look at how that's going to work. So we start off at the value of 3. And then at time 2, oops, and then at time 2, all of a sudden, we have this -5 turns on. And so we drop 3, and then 2 more down to -5. Or down by -5 to -2. All right, so let's try this again. For the next term, we want to be equal to 1 when t is bigger than 5. So we're going to write the function value that we want to have. The new function that we want is 1. The old function that was like running was -2. So we're going to write this as 1 minus -2 times u5 of t. And if we think about this, we are at the value -2. We want to go up to the value of 1. And so that change is going to be a change of +3. Okay, so really what we're multiplying here is this is our final function minus our initial function. Okay. And so this looks like 3 minus 5 u2 of t plus 3 u5 of t. All right, another way of thinking about this is with our pulses. So, so let's try that out as well. So f of t, we're going to, we start off with the function 3 on. Okay. At the end of our time, at time 2, we want to turn it off. So we're going to do -3 times u2 of t. So this is our first piece. Then we're going to take the value that we would like to do, -2, times our pulse. So our pulse was u2 of t minus u5 of t. Okay. All right, so this is only on between 2 and 5, and the value it outputs is -2. Okay. And then finally, we want to have 1 as our output. So we'll do +1 times u5 of t. Since we never turn this one off, we're just going to leave it with no subtraction going on. Okay, if we rearrange these different pieces, we're going to see that even though we arrived at them with different methods, they give us the same answer. So we have 3 minus 5 u2 of t plus 2 plus 1 or plus 3 u5 of t. u5 of t. Yep. All right. Great. Let's try this out with another example.